Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Birds at the Rodeo. I am Eric, your resident Eagles fan.
I'm Orlando, the resident Cowboys fan.
And this is Birds at the Rodeo, man. This is a podcast where we speak everything Eagles, Cowboys, NFL, and everything in between.
Yep.
With that being said, let's get straight into it, man. Last night, Monday Night Football, Cincy versus Dallas in Dallas.
Yeah, and it sucks. Like I know the rest of the fan base and everyone's expecting us to be bad and tanking right now, but
yeah,
there's just something about watching my football team play that it like goes against everything in me to not root for them to win. So when situations happen when games happen like that where it's hard fought and you lose, it's regardless of how other people want the team to do and not in terms of draft picks and stuff,
right?
I'm still hoping for the team to win. So last night was pretty tough to watch. I know the rules. I understand what they are, but I don't agree with them.
Yeah.
I think it's a dumb rule that obviously it's going to sound like just because it happened to the Cowboys, but that's all we have to go off of. And based off that instance, I think that in that situation where a punt is blocked, I think for it to be a new set of downs, there needs to be a clear recovery of the ball by the Cowboys in that scenario, and then recovered by Cincinnati. I just don't agree with just because we touched it, they get a new whole set of downs wherever the ball lands. I think they should still have to cross that first down marker if they do recover the ball, but obviously my opinion means nothing on the game. That's why we ended up losing.
That's football. That's what happened.
Yeah. I look at it as a lot of the new rules for roughing the passer and stuff. There's a lot I don't agree with, but at the end of the day, those are the rules. So you have to teach your players that as a coach, as a player, you have to know that.
Yeah.
And we just had
you just failed.
It's a heat of the moment play. Obviously, he's trying the ball. He sees the ball coming at him, wants to make a play on it, but because of the rules and the way it is, you just the best bet is just get out of there. Don't touch the ball.
Right.
Fall on it if you have the opportunity.
If you can.
If you just have to. But best case scenario is just get out of the way. So that's kind of what the game came down to. It was a hard fought game by both sides.
Yep.
I think.
Yep.
Cooper Rush played as well as we could have hoped he would as a backup. I mean, he dueled with Joe Burrow, so player who's in that top echelon of quarterbacks. I think in that second tier, obviously under Patrick Mahomes. But I mean, he went toe to toe with him up until there was a point in the game where CD and Jamar's numbers were looking the same. Rico and Chase Brown's. I think it was a very hard fought game from the team. I liked the effort I saw. I liked a lot of the things that we were doing offensively, defensively. I think they did as best they honestly could. The Bengals offense, while they are 5-8 now, their offense hasn't been the reason. They've been a pretty high scoring offense all season.
Yes, they have.
It's undeniable that Joe Burrow is a good quarterback.
Joe Burrow's having an MVP caliber year.
Undeniable. Jamar Chase has an argument for the best receiver in the league. I think.
Yep.
I mean, just given that off Chase Brown has had a phenomenal season as a running back.
5th round draft pick.
Literally. So offensively, they pretty much did what they could. I mean, defensively, our defense did what they could against a pretty high powered offense. Right. So I can't be too mad at them. And they just didn't allow a lot of points offensively. There were some plays I think that we left out there on the field that could have changed the game, but. I mean, at the end of the day, everything's not going to go your way, so can't just harp too bad on the mistakes. I think I'm not blaming the refs for the loss, but I think there were a couple bad calls. I think the interception that Cooper Rush threw was almost an exact replica of the potential game-winning touchdown that happened in the Panthers and Eagles game, where the ball hit the ground at the end. Like, I think it was almost.
You talking about the Bryce Young to Xavier Legette?
Yeah, that play they called incomplete as it was. That ball, the ball moved, hit the ground. I think the exact same thing happened on the interception that Cooper Rush threw, but they called it an interception. And then if you contrast that with the interception that Joe Burrow threw, to Malik Hooker. If you watch that play, go back and watch it. Malik Hooker does a phenomenal job of not only catching it, but then
securing
to lift up and get the ball off the ground.
Yep.
So I think that was a picture perfect play of how you're supposed to intercept the ball going to the ground, and I don't think that happened on the.
When did Cooper Rush throw the interception? I'm blanking on. I think I missed that because he threw that early, didn't he?
I think it was in the first half.
Yeah, I think I missed that part.
And I'm pretty sure it was in the red zone as well. So that was obviously a game changing play. But I mean, like I said, the refs called it that way, and that's nowhere near the reason we lost the game.
Right.
Honestly, I think at the end of the day, I think we just lost to a team that's better than us.
Yeah.
I think even though defensively,
their record doesn't show it, but
right, their record doesn't show how good they are as a complete team, and even defensively, where they've been struggling, I think offensively we've been struggling. So it kind of was a perfect scenario for them. They have a very high-powered offense against a defense that hasn't been playing well, although they did last night. So credit to them, but. Defensively, where they've struggled, this was a game against the offense that'll kind of help them get back in their groove. I don't think they'll make a run in the playoffs or anything, or even make the playoffs for that matter. But
a lot of things have to go right for them to even sniff the wild card.
Right, I agree, but I just think in that game, the better overall team won. So can't really be too upset. And at the end of the day, we are in a position to where every loss does hurt our draft pick. So while every win will hurt our draft pick. So at the end of the day, I'm always going to root for the Cowboys to win. I will admit that losing doesn't hurt as much.
No, it helps you right now.
Yeah, so it just sucks when it happens on something like that. That block, whether we block the punt, we're still in position to win the game, or we're in position to put ourselves in position to win the game, because obviously we would still have to drive down and get a score. But on the block, if we get that right there, we're pretty much in Brandon Aubrey's range.
Right.
Well, if he scoops and scores, obviously, but at that point, we're already in Brandon Aubrey's range. Recover the ball.
All you had to do was recover it.
1, maybe 2 first downs, and we end the game, or at the very least, go up in the game and put them on the field, to put their offense back on the field to score in probably about a minute or less. Right. Even though they did do that. They recovered the ball and scored on pretty much the next play. So,
yep.
At the end of the day, it's just like I said, in my opinion, I think the better overall team won. So can't be too bad. It just sucks that it happened the way it did.
That's the luck of the draw, man. It's the NFL. It's the luck of the draw. Let me ask you something though before, because I want to get into Micah Parsons and his whole. He had a lot of things going on last night, really this past weekend. But Joe Burrow, man, you historically have not been a fan of his. Has he earned your respect now this season?
No.
No, he hasn't?
No. Again, because I do everything else, I've compared them to Dak. I've never heard anyone say Dak Prescott gets any credit for losing just because his defense is bad.
But okay, you on this show have defended the Bengals record because of their defense. Joe Burrow has been playing at an MVP level. He's been putting up numbers like crazy.
Well, I've never thought he was incapable of putting up an MVP level season. I just think that.
So where do you stand on Joe Burrow? Do you think he's overrated? Because
if anyone who has him on the same level of Patrick Mahomes, obviously I think that would be overrating him, or anyone who has him on a tier above other top quarterbacks who aren't Patrick Mahomes. If you think he's better than Josh Allen, I think that'd be overrating him. If you think he's better,
so you take Josh Allen over Joe Burrow?
No, it goes back to my category list. I think they would give you Josh Allen and Joe Burrow are 2 quarterbacks who are capable of giving you MVP seasons. They just need.
So they're on the same level to you.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's my thing. I've never really thought he was less than a tier 2 quarterback. I've just never thought he was a tier 1 quarterback.
Well, because
I think the only thing that this season I feel like is one of. He's playing him specifically he is playing a lot better individually.
He's having his best season right now.
And it's although it's not translating to wins. No. I think before this season, the thing that catapulted him into that top tier category is the fact that he has a Super Bowl appearance, and that's where I kind of start becoming into the overratedness, because I don't think he was the driving force of that Super Bowl run.
I think it was, I think he was definitely one of the driving forces. I also think it was because Joe Burrow historically has not had an offensive line. Granted, he's had a Jamar Chase, he's had a T. Higgins. I'm not saying he hasn't had top-notch receivers, but it's hard to get those top-notch receivers the ball. When you get sacked 9 times in the AFC Championship game, dog, I'm sorry. That's a lot to overcome. That's all I'm saying. That's a lot to overcome.
I agree. It is. I just think all around quarterbacks should be getting a lot less credit for the things winning games. I've always subscribed to the fact that wins are not a QB stat because there's too many things that affect a football game for one person to get that much credit. I get it. The quarterback he controls the game the most, but at the end of the day, a lot of things like in Joe Burrow's case are outside of his control. Mm-hmm. Like if they lost that game last night, it would have been no fault of Joe Burrow's.
No.
I don't know who would I honestly had we won that game, I would think.
So who would you say is the reason the Bengals won that game last night?
Jamar Chase.
Well, right, but Joe Burrow had to get Jamar the ball, right?
I don't think it's that hard to get Jamar the ball. I think in the same sense that
I don't think it's that hard to get Jamar the ball.
It's almost like playing with a quarterback that good and then playing with a receiver that kind of hurt each other in terms of like individuality.
Yeah,
but I think when you look at, because I think the top 5 receivers in the NFL are Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown, and Tyreek Hill. And I think with 4 of those guys, you've seen them almost no matter who their quarterback is, still be able to be a top receiver in the league. Now, it's not his fault, but Jamar Chase hasn't had to play without Joe Burrow for an extended period of time. Like we've seen CD have to play without Dak. Like we've seen Tyreek Hill play without Tua. Like we've seen AJ Brown. AJ Brown, he hasn't played without Jalen Hurts, but he's played with Tennessee.
He played Ryan Tannehill. No. Well, shoot.
Same with Justin Jefferson.
Last year, Jamar had to play with what was the guy's name? Because remember, Joe got hurt. I can't even remember the dude's name, but he played like at least 7-8 games with that guy. I can't even remember his name. I feel so bad. I can't remember the backup quarterback's name right now.
And I think last year was probably the only year his numbers weren't on par with like CDs and Tyreek Hill.
I can't recall what Jamar Chase finished with last year, but
this year he's about to win the Triple Crown.
Yeah,
so, I mean, it's like I don't want to take away from his ability.
Yeah,
we've just seen.
I think
other receivers play like pretty much. We've seen entire seasons almost of these guys with. Not even like what Justin Jefferson is doing right now with Sam Darnold is no one could have expected that.
I think would I say Jamar Chase is the player of the game from last night? Yes, I would also I don't know because it takes 2 to tango, right? Like. Yeah, Jamar Chase has to go out there and make the plays, but Joe got to get them the ball, right? It's always a catch-22 when you're talking about a quarterback and wide receiver duo.
I'll give because I was about to say that it wasn't. I could understand. There weren't like a lot of difficult throws that Joe Burrow had to make on the first touchdown. He threw that ball with so much anticipation in the perfect spot. So I'll absolutely give him credit for that.
Honestly, it was kind of to Jamar Chase on the pylon. No, that was crazy. I mean, a lot of Joe's throws, man. A lot of his throws last night, man. They like he was scrambling around the pocket, moving up, pushing up with anticipation. To me, Joe Burrow, he played a clean game last night. I know he had that one interception, but he played a clean, efficient football game last night. I mean, I've always been a firm believer in Joe Burrow, man. I rock with Joe Burrow. He's one of my favorite players. I don't know. I just think, me personally, because I know you view quarterbacks a little bit differently than I do. I think he's up there in the tier 1 conversation, me personally. But again, like we said before, with Michael Parsons, I want to get into that with you. First and foremost, what were your reactions to? Well, how did you feel when you saw him going belligerent on the sideline?
I love that.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Absolutely. I hate it when players do that, and the media narrative is just like calling them a diva or that type of passion just shows how much
he cares.
He cares. He came out and said like, oh, he still thinks this team can make the playoffs, and that right there proves that he believes that 100% to me. That shows like he's not just saying things because it sounds good. He truly believed that team had a chance to be successful and continue to win games, and in the position where they had. And it's just out of his control like that. I completely understand the frustration, completely understand the emotion, and I honestly wish we would see more of that. He walked off the field upset. I'm pretty sure before the game ended.
The game was over.
I would much rather see that than see jersey swaps after a game or seeing guys being buddy. I know they're humans and they're friends, and I get that. But just me personally, I would just like to see that passion. It just resonates with me more as a fan because like that's how emotional I am.
That's how we feel. Yeah,
I was yelling at my TV the same exact way he was over there yelling it because it's like in a position like that, it's just, I can only understand how frustrating that could be.
Right. So what do you say? Because again, we spoke about this before. I work with a lot of Cowboys fans, and a lot of them that today were literally like, "That's just a lot of me. I'm selfish. All that. That's how they were painting the picture."
I think that's insane. I think it's the exact opposite. Like, I don't know. What were they saying? Like, what do you mean?
Like the way Micah
he
does
wants
that.
his team to win.
They were all, I think they view Micah as. He's always the guy with the mic in his hand, you know. Like one of the Cowboys fans brought up, you know, Micah doing the podcast and everything. He's like, "Dude, why don't you just shut up and like go worry about helping your defense win because your defense gave up all these points." That was a quote from one of my coworkers this morning. I don't know, man. So, other Cowboys fans that I talk to, they view it as it's a lot of selfishness on the team. It's a lot of guys that want to see themselves succeed, and then, you know, they're talking about the Micahs, the CDs. It's funny though They didn't say Dak was in that category. I don't know. It's interesting because you, on one hand, right, and, you know, it's probably two halves of the fence here, right, for Cowboys fans. The passionate ones who say, like, yeah, no, I need to see that out of my superstar player because otherwise, how do I know he really cares? And then there's the other ones that are like, okay, like, why is he complaining? Why is he crying? Like, you gave up all these points. You did all this. Why are you making it about yourself?
I genuinely can't see how someone could see that as him being about himself.
Yeah.
After it's like,
maybe it's like him trying to put like maybe they view it as him putting the attention on himself rather than the team, like acting like that. I guess because that's what a diva is, right? Like
I guess, but
you don't see it as that.
No, especially that specific moment. Like when Dez would do it, or there's been times CD has kind of acted like a diva, quote unquote. Those instances I could kind of see, especially because I remember there was a 49ers game where CD was like standing away from the team, or he would say like, I could understand you seeing that as being selfish, or like a receiver, like you, because like I remember there was a time where Dez, all you could see on him on the sideline was him yelling at everybody, complaining, this and that, and everybody's like, oh my God, he's over there begging for the ball. Come to find out, all the players came out and said, and they had actual audio of him. That's literally him just like hyping up the team, saying, "Come on, y'all, we got this. Like we can do it." And so it's like
you don't see where people get that.
Yeah.
No, I get it. Okay, so what else do you say? Because Micah also came out before the game, and he talked about how the Cowboys need to run this back.
Now that I 1,000% disagree with. I am so completely.
He said it, and including Mike McCarthy. We got to bring back Mike. That's what he said.
I don't understand it. And
Dax came out and said that.
He did too. Now,
Micah said it. Jerry said it. Jerry alluded to it, not directly, but
yes. And I understand from a player's perspective, if that's a guy they like. He's a player's coach, I've heard people say, and so they like Mike as a guy. But if running it back means him having full control of the play calling, absolutely not. If y'all want to run it back because y'all like him as y'all's head coach, but bring somebody in to call the plays, I'd be more open to that. But I don't think that happening. Yeah, because in Mike McCarthy's eyes, he wants to run things his way. And his way doesn't work. So I'm not absolutely not okay with that. I disagree. I saw like the only thing that kind of stuck out to me when I saw someone talk about it. It was just a random fan, but they kind of looked at it as they want Mike because what we've seen so far, it doesn't seem like he holds players accountable. It seems like
that is also a theme that I've heard from other Cowboys fans.
And now, obviously, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes or what he does to hold people accountable, but it doesn't translate as he's holding people accountable on the field.
Right.
So,
and I mean, truth be told, let's be honest, man. Like under Mike McCarthy, like y'all have had a lot of undisciplined play, like a lot.
I don't know this for a fact. I don't know the exact numbers, but I would almost be willing to guarantee we are a top 3 penalized team, if not the most penalized team since Mike McCarthy has been our coach.
For sure.
But and it's also not even just a Mike McCarthy thing. We've just been we're a high penalized team every year.
Yeah.
And so I think that goes to the fact that even if Mike McCarthy is the head coach, he's not completely in charge. Everyone knows Jerry's in charge, and I think Jerry for sure does not hold players accountable.
Do you think Jerry's lack of accountability, of holding players accountable, you think that translates to undisciplined football play on the field? Like from his standpoint, from him being the owner all the way down to the players?
Yes, because I think he's so involved that I don't know if he steps in when players are trying to
or like that's my guy, he's fine, leave him alone. I get it.
Just like from the outside looking in, there's too many things to factor in, so we don't really know what the actual what's actually happening.
Right.
So I just wanted to read we can't get rid of Jerry, so we got to get rid of the guys we can get rid of until something works. Because like I say, the definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over and expecting different results.
Yep, exactly.
I just don't. I think we need I've said it before. I think we need an entire new coaching staff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys out there, even though Ben Johnson pretty much said
he's gonna be the hot name on the block.
I mean, a lot of teams are gonna be looking at him, and he pretty much
he's gonna be very selective.
I mean, he pretty much said, without saying it verbatim, that I would never coach for the Cowboys. He gave 2 requirements.
Yeah, what did he say?
Both of them contradict with being the coach of the Cowboys.
Something about organizational structure.
One was he wanted to have basically complete control of the team.
Yeah,
not happening in Dallas. And then his second one, he wanted the organization to be able to acknowledge what went wrong this season, and have a willingness to change that.
Yeah,
never going to happen in Dallas because the problem this season was Jerry Jones and the team he built.
Yeah.
Although I will say, I think the team we've seen. So one thing I want to talk about is I don't know how, because right now Rico Dowdle is playing decent football.
He's y'all's best running back.
He's not playing He's not playing amazing football. He's not playing.
He's the best running back on y'all's roster. What happened to Dalvin Cook?
I don't know. He's been on the practice squad all year.
I just thought, he got elevated. I literally just thought about that.
He got elevated for one game, and I can't remember which game it was.
Bro?
And I think who's ever forcing Mike McCarthy, if it's his decision, if it's Jerry's, whichever organizational component is forcing Ezekiel Elliott to play
on the field
is hurting our team.
Yeah,
I think there were 2 drives last night that immediately got stalled out the moment we handed Zeke the ball.
When Rico, the ball, bro, he gets tackled 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
And when Rico was only getting positive yardage, Rico was getting a first down every other run.
Right.
And we went away from it. Then not only did we go away from the run and give it to Zeke a couple times, there was the drive where we were running the ball well with Rico, and then it didn't even take him out. We just passed 3 straight plays, 3 incompletions, leading to a punt.
Yep.
So I don't know who made the decision to make Rico the number 1 back, but the decision should have been made a lot earlier.
Yeah.
And it's showing that the team could have been a lot different had we committed to the run with Rico, because that was our biggest problem the first 6-7 weeks of the season. We had a non-existent running game because we were doing running back by committee.
Right, that's what I was gonna say. It's funny because y'all didn't even come into the season with a number 1 running back. Y'all said y'all were gonna do it by committee, but Zeke was getting the bulk of the carries at the beginning of the season, and then obviously we see he's washed, he's done. But yeah, no, Rico Dowdle, he's been y'all's best running back by a mile this season. I don't know, and I mean, hopefully y'all keep him next year. Again, I don't think he's a feature guy, but he's definitely a good change of pace back for y'all for sure.
Absolutely, I would be okay with bringing him back.
Right, and then get somebody else in there to take majority of the carries.
I thought that's my thing. I don't think running back by committee works.
You're not a believer in that?
I don't think it would really work with Rico being the best running back, if that makes sense. I do. Yeah. I think the team, because
if y'all went for it with him and Deuce or something.
Yeah, whether it's him or Deuce, him and Zeke this year. Like, I think with him being the lead back, with him being the best back, if you're doing running back by committee, that means everybody else is worse than him.
Well, yeah.
Like, I think your running back by committee needs to, if he's the second best back on the team, that could work. Or if someone's as equal to him, I think it's clear as day that Zeke and Rico Dowdle aren't on the same level this year, anymore.
Zeke is done.
So it just, there's a lot of decisions that were made this year that could have helped the team in a better way, but I just think
Jerry Jones dropped the ball. Mike McCarthy dropped the ball a little bit in terms of setting up the offense for success.
Which is so like that's what I think. Like I was saying that to say because Ben Johnson, he said the acknowledgement of the problem this year and willingness to change. And so I think part of the problem was Mike McCarthy's offense and Jerry. And so getting Ben Johnson would be acknowledging one of the problems and we're willing to change it. But the problem with Jerry and his roster building, he would never, one, admit he was wrong or two, do anything to like change his ways.
Did you see, now I'm not saying this to say like y'all should go out and get this guy, but did you see there was like some rumor a little bit about Kyle Shanahan, like the Niners trading him?
I mean, I would be open to it.
Would you be okay? So you'd be open to a Kyle Shanahan,
a Ben Johnson. I want a younger guy. Obviously, Kyle Shanahan is a Mike McDaniels, but he's not. He's also not Mike McCarthy.
I'm not completely sold on Mike McDaniels either, but
like he's on the younger side compared to some of the old coaches. Just offensively, schematic wise, he's a lot younger than a lot of these older coaches. So I would absolutely be open to that.
Would you be open to like a Mike Vrabel? He's out there.
I've seen people say bringing him in as like a defensive coordinator or something like that.
I mean, he built up a good team in Tennessee, man. He just had a fluke of a quarterback in Ryan Tannehill, and I mean, he had Derrick Henry, he had AJ Brown. He did what he could with that team, but I don't know. There's a lot of talk of Mike Vrabel getting another look. This new head coaching cycle.
I mean, there's a lot of people. I would be open to. I mean, because you really don't know what they're capable of until they get in there and get a chance. So as long as it's somebody who's shown. Like when we hired Mike McCarthy, I understood that he's a Super Bowl winning coach. He had playoff success outside of just winning that one Super Bowl. Right. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers was his quarterback, but I think that signing him at the time wasn't bad. It just turned out to not be because I remember when like we got rid of Kellen Moore and everyone. It's like sometimes just because something isn't the right answer doesn't mean it wasn't like a good option at the time. Like it's easy to say after the fact that we should have never hired Mike McCarthy. You don't know until you know. Exactly.
You don't know until you know.
There's a lot of I'd be open to. I mean, pretty much anybody is just right. A change would be nice. Now, if we hire somebody who's been on his couch for years, or somebody who's who was bad when they were in the league, I wouldn't be okay with that. But there's a lot of promising guys who've shown flashes in the league, and that I would be confident could do a better job than Mike McCarthy. Right. And even if they don't, after the fact, I still don't think. I think that's my thing. Just because say we hired Ben Johnson and it didn't work out here. Right. Just because Ben Johnson wasn't the answer doesn't mean Mike McCarthy was the answer as well. So I think we should still move on, get some new people in there.
It's time to change it up. Yeah. No, I feel you. Before we dive deep into Philly, are you seeing the rumors about Bill Belichick?
I think did someone say he was about to be a high school coach?
No. Oh no.
What did
Hey, imagine Bill Belichick coaching a high school team.
Well,
no, North Carolina, the University of North Carolina. Yeah, there's talks of him. Actually, he's talked to North Carolina twice now, apparently. And the big thing there is that apparently, if Bill Belichick were to take a head coaching gig there, a stipulation would be that his son, Steve Belichick, would be made the head coach in waiting. That's the rumor mill coming out, and people feel a way about it and everything. Me personally, I don't want to see Bill Belichick out of college. If Bill Belichick is coaching again, I think he needs to be in the NFL. He's so close to Don Shula's all-time coaching wins record. I don't know. Me personally, I think if he goes to college, that's him taking a step down at this point. And he's 71, man. You ain't taking a step down at this point. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, obviously he's a human, so you don't want to wish anything on. But he's a human, so he doesn't have that much time left.
No. So he has maybe I'll probably say maybe 3-4 years. I mean, Pete Carroll, he was coaching in the mid-70s, right? So, Bill Belichick can do it, but I think he has one more good, decent run in him as an NFL head coach. And I think, I don't know. I don't know. He needs to go to a team. I mean, maybe y'all. I don't know. I don't even know if Jerry Jones would even entertain that, but he needs to go to a team that is, ready. Honestly, and I thought about this before. I'm just going to throw it out there. Bill Belichick, I know he left them at the altar before, but if he went to the Jets, because to me, Aaron Rodgers is not even the biggest problem with the Jets. And if you look at his numbers, he's not even having a bad season. But I'm not here to dive deep into the Jets. It is what it is.
Right.
All right, man. Let's.
Oh wait, before we move on to Philly, I just want to give one shout out. Prayers up to DeMarvion Overshown.
Yes.
I mean, I came on this show week after week and said, please put him on ice. Put him on ice. We need him for next season.
He tore his MCL, PCL, and ACL.
And the opposite leg of the first ACL, he tore his rookie season. I mean, it's looking like he might miss the entire next. He's going to miss the rest of the season. Might miss the entire next season. I mean, it's like
CD keep messing with his shoulder, man. Bro, just put him on IR, man.
I don't get it, guys. These guys have. I understand. Like I said to start off the show, I understand wanting to win every game. But it's not my job to look at the big picture and look at the future. No. I'm a fan. I wanted this team to win every game in the moment.
Right.
You guys, I get wanting to win the game, but you got to protect.
You got to look at long term.
The Overshown, it wasn't like he had a nagging injury and it was
non-contact.
It was a non-contact just to.
It's just what happens.
Yeah, it just happened. But somebody like CD, we're literally going to play him until his shoulder falls off.
Yeah.
And then at that point, it's why are we doing
just
this?
Put CD on IR. I don't know if y'all got anybody else is banged up, but
we lose a different lineman every single game.
Right. Yeah. Cooper Beebe just got hurt.
Cooper Beebe got banged up in this game. Tyler Smith got banged up. We already lost Zach Martin.
Yep. No, yeah, just put your guys on IR, man. Like the 49ers, they need to put Fred Warner on IR. Dude, did you see? They've lost their top 3 running backs, the 49ers.
Yeah. Christian McCaffrey, Jordan Mason,
and Isaac Guerendo. Yep. It's over. If it wasn't over before, man, it's over now.
But yeah, just wanted to give him his shout out. Give him his prayers up to Rest up, man. I mean, we love you in Dallas. We love a lot of Austin, Texas loves you, man.
Future, I'm gonna say it right now, future All Pro, because he's too good, bro. He's too good.
Micah literally burst into tears talking about it because it does suck. It literally. These guys are human. Like I said about Belichick, they want to play. They put their hearts into this. They put their souls into this. Mm-hmm. This is something he's been working for literally his whole life, and now he finally got here and hasn't even got the chance to play. I think he's played half a season at this point. I mean, that just really sucks.
If he can stay healthy, his future's really bright.
Right, man.
But God, it seems like that's always the thing with Cowboys linebackers, isn't it? Y'all draft
Sean Lee,
Leighton Vander Esch, Jalen Smith.
I mean,
what is that? What is that like?
I don't know.
Is it a linebacker curse?
I think I can't really remember what Sean Lee. I can't remember how he was in college, but I know Jalen Smith.
He was nice. He was at Penn State too.
Well, no, I'm saying in terms of their injury, I know Jalen Smith was coming off what people thought could be a career-ending injury.
Yep, off that
we drafted him, And Leighton Vander Esch, I mean, he just had neck issues insane. Like, so I don't think
I don't know what it is, but when y'all draft linebackers, they end up being studs, but they just can't stay on the field.
Can't stay on the field.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
it does not make sense.
That really sucks, and especially last year losing Overshown when linebacker was by far our biggest hole on our defense. I just think that I mean, it really sucks. Just hope he can get better, figure out a way to stay on that field. And
Yep.
Guys, and like you said, sometimes it's just bad luck, but I mean, hopefully we can draft some linebackers. Our linebackers of the future don't fall into the same pattern.
I don't know what it is, man, but Dallas with these linebackers, bro. But like honestly, like y'all need to protect yourselves right now. Put CD on IR. I don't know anybody else. If anybody else is looking knick-knack, man, just put them on IR. And look, yeah, you still gonna try to win the games, but like, okay, let's put our young guys in and see, and let's also like, I don't know, lose these last 4 games so we can get a better draft pick. Like, it's okay. We know what the deal is, bro. Like, we've seen this happen time and time again. You're not the first team to do this, right? Like,
and I think Cooper Rush, I don't think he like prefers like them over CD, but the way he targets like the backups, it's like those are his guys,
right? Those are guys he's been practicing with, right?
Let them all go. Let the whole second string go out there,
right,
and just play,
right. And I mean, shoot, listen, maybe on the off chance you can possibly find your number 2 or number 3 receiver. I mean, I don't know. Ryan Flournoy, I know you're very down on him. I don't know. Jalen Tolbert, he seems like he's starting to have drop issues a little bit.
He did have a drop in this game, and I think that.
I mean, he's showing flashes, no?
Yes, he's showing flashes as a number 3 receiver.
Okay.
And I think I love him in that position if the number 2 receiver is better than Brandon Cooks.
Are you done with Brandon Cooks?
It's not that I'm done with. He's older now. I think a perfect scenario for me would be CD as our number 1, a new guy coming in as our number 2,
and Brandon as 3,
and then Jalen and Brandon fighting for 3. Like that being with Turpin coming in every so sporadically because
he's a gadget play guy. He's not an actual receiver. Like
and he runs. They play him as an actual receiver a lot, and he gets a decent, especially with Cooper Rush in.
He was getting targets last night.
Exactly,
he was getting targets last night.
I think that would be the perfect scenario for us. I think Brandon Cooks still even he scored in this game. I think he shows flat, but that was his only catch. But I think he shows flashes that he's still a capable receiver. It just doesn't need to be as the number 2 guy.
I think he is. It's crazy. Brandon Cooks has literally put up 1,000 yards in with every team he's been on except for the Cowboys.
Right.
Like it's.
I think that is a testament to how he's used, but I also think that's a testament to
he's also been like pretty injured with y'all a little bit too.
Yes, but at this point in his career, like there are plays where he just is not getting open. I mean, like running a route and the corner is like attached to him the entire way. Yeah. Whether it's just trying to send him down the field on a go, no separation, whether it's a running a comeback run. Oh, wow, I'm glad I just said that. Because something that stuck out to me last night is the amount of comeback routes that it seemed like every single first down the Bengals got was on a comeback route. Yep. I literally tweeted during the game, they're running so many comebacks and they're successful. I think someone's going to get burnt on a fake comeback. And they just never did. They just kept running the comebacks, which made me wonder, is that why we only have a route shrub and only run slants and comebacks? Because that's all that it takes to kill that team in practice?
Right.
I was genuinely like, it was insane how many times T. Higgins or Jamar Chase ran a little comeback just to get the first down.
The game-winning touchdown.
It was literally just a comeback. And
Deron Bland
just whiffed on the tackle.
Yep.
I was just... that confused me. It was almost like they were trying to like let them have it. I genuinely was like, maybe that's why we only run comebacks, because they think it works, right? Because it kills them in practice.
I also wonder with Brandon Cooks specifically, like, because he's more of a slot guy, right? He's not like an outside receiver. Do y'all put him outside a lot?
We put him. He moves around. He runs routes in the slot. He does run routes outside, but.
I think ideally you'd want to have CD and another guy outside and him on the inside, though.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
I don't think Brandon Cooks is done. I think it's a multitude of things, right? Like CD, if you only feel like you can only get CD the ball and he's getting majority of the targets, it's like, okay, what else are we going to do? And then obviously the defense is going to key in on CD. But also, if you're Mike McCarthy, if you're calling the plays, if you're scheming this offense, like you said before, you got to scheme guys open. Mm-hmm. If you got to scheme CD open, you got to scheme Brandon Cooks open. You got to give the defense multiple threats to worry about, right? It can't just be key in on CD Lamb. Right. That just can't be the game plan every time, man. But all right, man, let's get into Philly, bro, because I know there's been talk. There's been a lot of talk. There's been a lot of chit chatter.
Even some
yeah. We'll get into it.
Legends had some stuff to say about it.
Let me talk. Oh yeah. You're right about that too. Let me talk about the game first and foremost. That was literally probably the weirdest and off game I've seen us play this year.
Oh, definition of a trap game.
Yes, but it's crazy because like it was a trap game, but it was also like when I just say weird and off, like Adam Thielen made Cooper DeJean look like a rookie. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make sense now. It's 2024.
Oh, yeah, that was another reason I lost in fantasy. Adam Thielen put up more points than he's done all season.
He made Cooper DeJean look like an actual rookie, right? Cooper DeJean been playing at a Pro Bowl, all-pro level all season, and Adam Thielen made him look like a rookie.
I saw some jokes, and it was like, maybe wide receivers are his kryptonite.
Yeah. I was like,
jokes
get out of here. Yeah, I saw that. So, yeah, Adam Thielen had a game for the ages. Defense, man, we were just missing plays. We could have had Bryce Young for a safety. Josh Sweat whiffed on it. I mean, we're just missing plays that we always make, right? And on offense, I mean, slow starts once again, right? We get out, we get behind, and then of course, at that point you're gonna like maybe force feed Saquon, but then if you do that, right, the defense is already ready for it. So that got to happen in the first half a little bit. And, I mean, obviously, the big thing is about the passing, and Jalen Hurts only threw for, 108 yards and blah, blah, blah. A.J. Brown didn't get that many targets. Devontae didn't get that many targets. I'm gonna say this right now. If y'all really think A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts got legit beef out here, do y'all not realize Jalen Hurts is the godfather of A.J. Brown's daughter? That's not something you just walk away from, bro.
Because you don't get a few targets one game.
Yeah, come on, man, stop. And I'm gonna say this right now. I think AJ Brown, he's had a few diva moments. I'm not gonna deny that, right? But I don't. He wasn't wrong in what he said. He literally said the passing game it needs to improve. Like it needs to improve. And I'm completely with what Devontae Smith said. Devontae Smith came out and said, to this game specifically, he was like, this game specifically, we were not on the same page. He's like, I'm not talking about the whole season, this game specifically. And he was right. Now, granted, you look at the whole, sample size throughout the season. Again, Jalen Hurts, his numbers don't look amazing, right? People talk about him for MVP. I say no because he's not 2022 Jalen Hurts, right? Everybody can see that he's not. Like I always say this when it comes to Jalen, right? You play fast, you play decisive, you playing clean football. Mm-hmm. I'm cool. But when he starts to hesitate, he starts to hold the ball too long, that's when things go haywire, and that's what happened this past Sunday a little bit. Don't get me wrong, did he miss A.J. Brown a few times? Yes, like the Devontae Smith touchdown. A.J. Brown was open. But Jalen Hurts, he chose the more difficult throw. It's interesting. I don't know. I can't. You can't make that up. A.J. Brown is screaming open in the middle of the field, and Devontae's like he's crossing on the boundary. Yeah. So it's like whatever.
It worked, but
yeah, man. I mean, everybody and their mama has something to say about it. Even Brandon Graham got his foot in his mouth a little bit and was talking about, I don't know what happened. They were friends when they first got here, but things changed, and he came back and walked those comments back. Nick Sirianni had to come out and say something about it too.
I saw Donovan McNabb
and T.O. get one at it, which I appreciate. I'm not gonna lie, just because I don't know. I like.
Wait, you appreciate which one?
I like. Well, like I don't know. Like that rivalry, like. and obviously, you know, being an Eagles fan, like when T.O. and Donovan McNabb, like, and I mean, I was alive, but like I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't an Eagles fan like that.
Right.
But you know, when that thing, I mean, obviously I did my homework and everything, bro. Like when those two were beefing and they made it to the Super Bowl, dog. And Donovan McNabb, he couldn't stand T.O. He still fed him the ball in the Super Bowl on a broken leg. Like, so much stuff happened with them, man. So much stuff happened. And like the fact that those two felt the need to come out and speak on the A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts thing, honestly, I found it to be funny. T.O. and Donovan McNabb, you know, I think they just need to get in the ring and square up at this point because they can't stand each other. I'd love to see that.
That's some big dudes.
Yeah. I mean, T.O. talking about he can still play, bro. He's like 53. Stop.
Facts.
Yeah, man. Look, I'm going to say this right now. I do not think there's any drama. I think this was an off game. I think Kellen Moore did not call his best game. Jalen Hurts did not play his best. He did not read the field as quickly as we would like him to. Offense stalled out a little bit. Defense bailed us out again. All things can be true, right? But I don't think there's a pressing issue. I don't think there's drama. I think everybody's putting their helmets on, putting their hard hats on, and going back to work. I think A.J. Brown's still going to come out and ball out. The only thing I will say, you know, because for me, you know, we had this game, and like you said, it was a trap game, dude, because – you know, say what you want, but the Panthers they're rising. All right, they're finishing the season strong. Shout out to Bryce Young again because he's figuring it out. I will say, like, I'm nervous because we come off a game in which we should dominate the Panthers, and we got the Steelers coming up.
Who absolutely played amazing football
exactly, so dude. I'd be lying if I didn't say I was nervous for that game, man. They got a defense, they got an offense. George Pickens is slated to be out again, though, but Russell Wilson's been playing really good football. They've been running the ball really well, and they got a top-notch defense, man. So I'm not ecstatic about our performance, you know, coming off of that game against the Panthers, heading into Pittsburgh. That definitely makes me nervous.
And
but
it's in Pittsburgh.
Oh, it's in. No, I think it's in Philly.
Yeah, it is in Philly.
Yeah, it's in Philly. So you know that's good. But I mean, hey, man, it's in Pennsylvania, right? Philly, Pittsburgh. That's a interstate rivalry. Anyway. The Steelers fans, they gonna travel. We know what the deal is with that. The Terrible Towel's gonna travel, man. So yeah, dude, all I can hope is that Nick Sirianni gets to these boys and have them refocus because that's what needs to happen. Because God forbid, man, we come out and lay an egg against the Steelers, bro. I don't like that, dude. I don't like that at all. And we know about Mike Tomlin, man. He always has those boys ready to go.
Right.
Always has those boys ready to go. So I'm looking forward to a good game this Sunday. Like I said, hopefully we can refocus. Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown. We can put all the talkers to bed. Come out. I'm not gonna say dominate, but I mean shoot, man. I've said it before and I'll say it again, man. We have the most talented roster in football. So, yeah, do I anticipate or do I expect us to come out and be able to dominate any team? Yes. Do I think we can do it against the Steelers? If we get out to a fast start, yes. Mm-hmm. Right, if we get out to a fast start. So, yeah, man, we're going to see. Saquon Barkley's still out here rushing for over 100 yards a game. He's had, though, you know what's crazy? We've rushed for over 100 yards in 13 straight games.
Yeah.
You know, Saquon Barkley broke LaShawn McCoy's single season rushing record. Shout out to him for that. I'm just waiting for him to break Eric Dickerson's record now. That's all I'm really hoping for, honestly. Like, if he gets MVP, cool. Like, I don't think he will, but if he gets it, cool. But I really want him to get the single season rushing record. I'm not gonna lie. I'd love to see him do that as an Eagle. Speaking of MVP, though, hey man, did you see Josh Allen?
I did.
Dude, what? That man had 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's that game. That's
Orlando,
unheard of. I think if he played every game like that, yeah, he'd be the MVP. But
I'm sorry, dude. I think that man is continuing to build his case, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. And the fact that they lost that game. Oh my God.
I think they still are. He's definitely obviously. I think
he's in the running for sure. I think.
I would say that game. Because it's hard to catapult a guy after a loss, but that win, like I said earlier, wins are not a QB stat.
Like that.
Yeah, that's what right. Wins, and that right there is the perfect example of wins not being a QB stat.
Yeah,
because losses shouldn't be a QB stat. And obviously context goes into play.
Yeah,
you should get if you played bad. Obviously, you should get
because that's like
talking about it. But like I feel like that game right there like epitomizes that.
Right,
like, you can play amazing and still not win the game.
God, dude, that game was.
You know what I'm saying? So
I was literally sitting there like, "Go, Josh, go!" Like literally, like, man, that was amazing to watch. But it's funny that you mentioned that because that's like the knock on Lamar, right? Like, because he's 8-5,
right?
So like, if he doesn't win it, people are gonna look at his losses.
I mean, I see the wins not being a QB stat is my personal opinion. Right. I don't think the league and the MVP voters obviously do not subscribe to that thought. So, so to the people it matters to, his Lamar's losses are definitely gonna probably be the reason if he doesn't win MVP would be the reason he doesn't win MVP.
Who you got winning right now? Is it still who? Because you had who before? Was it Saquon?
Yeah.
You still got Saquon?
Yes, I would have Saquon, but if the season ended right now, I think it would probably be Josh Allen just because it's a quarterback award at this point. But I think Saquon would deserve it. Yeah.
Again, I would love to see Saquon win it. No Philadelphia Eagles ever won it. I would love to see him do it. I just feel like it's Josh Allen's to lose at this point. Like if Buffalo goes on like a losing streak to end the season, ain't no way he's sniffing it, right? But dude, if he continues to ball out like this, I don't know, man. I really think it's his to lose.
I think as long as they don't lose 2 more games, if they can keep if they go, what would that be, 13-4? Yeah, I think he win. I think Josh Allen will win if they go 13-4.
If they have a better record than the Ravens, and shoot, might mess around and be the Chiefs at this point because, the Chiefs they getting a little bit lucky at this point.
So people are one of my friend Christian calls it voodoo magic because it's like they are winning games by like doing it's almost like they're just being willed to wins by like extrasensual. I don't know how to say that word. Existential.
Extraterrestrial?
No, not extraterrestrial.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
I think that's a word, existential or something like that. Like outside forces.
Outside forces.
Yeah.
The football gods.
Yeah,
football gods.
Like the football gods are just willing them to win. So. So that's the same way I think wins not being a QB stat is why Patrick Mahomes doesn't deserve the MVP.
No, he hasn't.
If you're just going to give it to the quarterback on the best record, I think that kind of invalidates the award.
Like Jared Goff. Jared Goff has a better case than Patrick Mahomes.
I agree.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I really think the Chiefs' magic gonna run out come playoff time. I think they're gonna get the wrong matchup, and I think their magic will be over. Me personally. Because their offense is not clicking the way, dude. I mean, they could have lost to the Chargers.
Right.
They could have lost to the Chargers.
Now the Chargers are a good team.
They are.
Yeah, that was definitely a game the Chiefs could have lost.
They could have lost a few of the games. They could have lost a few games.
From week 1.
Come on, man.
One by a toe.
I think the Chiefs. I don't think they're gonna make it back to the Super Bowl. I think that three-peat is not gonna happen.
I will say that kind of just shows you like how tough it is for everybody. Obviously, since no one's done it, everybody realizes how tough it is to three-peat in the NFL. But even like going back to back, winning a Super Bowl, like so many things have to go right. Mm-hmm. And it's like it's gotten to the point where we've seen so much just happen, like just go right for them. It's just like when is it gonna end? When are things like gonna bounce in the opposite way?
When's the other shoe gonna drop?
Right.
That's what people are waiting for at this point. But before we get on out of here, I wanted to ask your opinion because I got into a pretty heated discussion about this earlier at work. What are your thoughts on college football players getting paid? What are your thoughts on college athletes getting paid?
Like NIL
and all that jazz. Yeah, what are your thoughts?
Before they got paid, I was all for it. I felt like it was I think it was wrong to like how much these schools profit off the players and the teams, and they saw none of it. Yeah, but I think it's gotten to a point where it's the wild, wild west. Yeah, it's kind of like not ruining things because I'm not the biggest college football fan, so I can't really gauge what's being ruined. But just looking across the league, I think the transfer portal is kind of messing things up. Mm-hmm. players getting promised certain amount of money for going to certain schools and it just being okay and open. Because if we're being honest, players have gotten paid for a long time.
Yep.
But now it's open and now they can actually sway people's decisions and things like that. I kind of think there should be some type of cap or some type of regulation on it, because at this point it's getting out of control. I think. What about it? How do you feel about it?
Me personally, I felt like before the players got paid, I felt like they should be getting paid. It's funny you mentioned the schools. It ain't even the schools, man. It's the NCAA. The NCAA makes money hand over fist. With the names on these players' backs, right? The blood, sweat, and tears they put in.
Right.
My thing is, like you said, it's the Wild Wild West, man. I mean, I'm a Michigan fan, so yeah. Am I ecstatic that we got Bryce Underwood, the number 1 quarterback in the 2025 draft class? Yes, or not draft class, but recruiting class. Yes, but we got him because we paid him an absurd amount of money, like $12 million.
Well, so here's the thing: if there's no salary cap and these schools have an abundance of money, it's like giving him that much money isn't hurting the team.
No. Here's my thing. It's literally any Joe Schmo that's a millionaire can give so and so. Okay, boom. I'm Eric. I'm a successful billionaire. Whatever. You're a recruit. Hey, I'm gonna give you $10 million. I want you to go to Michigan. All right, cool. Whatever. Done. I don't like that. To me, what needs to happen is the NCAA needs to get off his high morale horse, right? And say, all right, you know what? We need to pay the players. Because it's the TV deals, bro. Listen, it legit. If they cut a check to each school to pay its players based on the TV deals, bro. Because let's be real. If you're a player at South Alabama, you're not going to be making money like the players at Alabama. Unfortunately, listen, hey, welcome to the real world. Welcome to capitalism. You're not that level of guy, right? You're not that level of player. It is what it is, right? I just think the NCAA needs to get off its high horse and they need to come out and pay the players, because that's the problem. Like that needs to be the governing body that runs this thing, right? Because otherwise, I mean, dude, did you hear the news today in college basketball?
No, what happened?
I can't even pronounce the dude's last name, but the AJ, I can't even pronounce his last name, but the number 1 recruit, he committed to BYU.
That's crazy.
And you know how much they're paying him? Like $12 million, bro.
BYU wasn't relevant before Jimmer and hasn't been relevant since.
He committed to BYU. They paying him like $12 million. I can't pronounce. It's AJ DeBizema or something. I can't pronounce his last name. But yeah. College sports will literally never be the same.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And like the sense of loyalty, the sense of pride that you get, like it's not like, there no more.
The same way you could be like, oh, you're a Michigan alum. I'm a recruit. Hey, I'll give you 10 minutes coming into Michigan. Right. Well, the very next year, a UT alum can be like, hey, I'll give you 15 million to come to Texas.
I'm gone, bro. Yeah, right. Come on, man. Like what? Yeah, it's sad, man.
I feel like it's sad. I agree they should get paid. There should just be more regulation similar to the NFL. Like I get it's different, but if you give me a recruit $10 million to play for Michigan, I should have to play for Michigan or give the money back or so. I don't know, or something. Like I shouldn't just be able to get a new deal every year, because that's just not how like contracts in the NFL work. That's not how things really work.
Players are transferring like crazy now just to get to the biggest bag, man. Just to get to the biggest bag. I mean, hey, and I'm not knocking them for it. Go get your money, man. Go get your money. That's the way college football is now. That's the way college basketball is now. Go take full advantage of it. But like, it is gonna get worse before it gets better. And to me, that's because of the NCAA first and foremost.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, with that being said, folks, that's a wrap on episode 14. We didn't even mention this is episode 14.
Absolutely.
Of Birds at the Rodeo. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell like Lando always says.
Let us that way you know when we post. You can check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, on YouTube,
TikTok,
anywhere you can get content. We'll be there. Just check us out, man.
Check us out. Please feel free to, like I said, comment. Let us know how you feel. Let us know your thoughts. If you got anything you want us to discuss, please let us know.
If you agree with college players getting paid, if you agree with the punt block rule, if you disagree,
who your MVP is,
let us know.
Let us know,
we want to talk about it.
We're all ears. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, catch y'all next week. Peace.
Later.
Jamal with a stroke of genius.